Well, I think that we've done a great job of improving our communication with parents, which is a huge part of building trust. And also there's an upcoming town hall where we'll be giving an update on the strategic plan so that parents can trust that the strategic plan is moving forward. It's really hard in a pandemic, but providing sort of casual opportunities for our families and our faculty and staff and administration to interact to build trust. And we've done a few polls. My committee, the Building Trust Committee, has done a few polls to sort of get a temperature on how the parents are feeling about trust and where we can improve. And that's really our metric for improving how impactful we are in building trust. Well, I think Nicole's done a great job, Nicole Bostel, of improving our communication with improving the format of the newsletters as well as the content of the newsletters. All of the content that the communications department is putting out just helps build trust when parents feel like they know what's happening and that there's proactive communication around anything that's happening at the school. One area that my committee would like to focus on is teacher retention and the communication around teacher retention and what happens when a teacher leaves or chooses to leave during the year or at the end of the year, that there's some communication to parents so that there is a trust that all of the right mechanisms were followed when a teacher chooses to leave. So if we can provide a consistent format of communication around teacher attrition, whether they choose to leave or they're asked to leave, then parents can trust that the right decisions were made when teachers leave. The introduction videos have been very helpful that the communications department has put out about just an introduction to teachers, and especially this year when we can't come into the school, to have that face in that interview and have a feel for the teacher before your student meets them that day. We do like to give our teachers as much positive feedback as we can. I know that particularly this year they're working way harder than ever. So right before Thanksgiving break, we used the technology Flipgrid, and we provided all families with the opportunity to record just short snippets of videos of gratitude that we then shared with the teachers over Thanksgiving break. But also going back to the parents and just having those opportunities to also let parents know what they're doing well or how the school needs their help, and then parents stepping up and helping with, I know our PTO does a great job of providing breakfast or foods or other things to our teachers. So just that back and forth of relationship building. Well, that's a challenge during a pandemic. I'm not sure that we've done any of that this year just because it's not quite possible, but usually when we have the STEM blast off or we have school events like the STEM Fest, then parents just interact with each other and they're able to see each other in a casual way, and then you learn what you have in common. And commonality builds trust when you know, oh, you know, we have a kid in the same grade with the same teacher, or oh, the teacher's from Georgia and I'm from Georgia, and that's a connection. So it's just an opportunity to make those connections that aren't about grades or aren't about student behavior or assignments or whatever. It's just a casual connection that builds those relationships that are so important. Well, I think that the teacher job profession as a whole is going to perhaps look different in how we can support and communicate to our community as a whole, how we can support our teachers, how we can make their jobs just the smallest bit easier. 2020, I think everybody was just trying to figure out how to make it work, and maybe in 2021 we can move forward in focusing on what are the best practices, how can we make the teacher experience that much better so that parents are, you know, comfortable and they trust that those teachers are professionals and they're doing the best that they can, and that parents are also doing their best that they can at home. So I feel like that bridge is a place to focus in 2021. You know, I'm really excited about the strategic plan. I think it covers a lot of areas that STEM is already good at that could also use some improvement in, and I'm glad to see the energy refocusing around it to move forward.